I've just got out of a client meeting and I mentioned what I call the trust recession to him, and his mind was blown because it suddenly made sense to him as to why he wasn't getting sales. And he said, and I quote, "Why don't you make more videos about this kind of stuff?" So here we go. We're in what I call a trust recession. And if you're a coach, course creator, online seller, infopreneur, whatever buzzword you want to put it, if you're trying to sell knowledge, experience, and wisdom in the online space, you're probably already feeling the impact of this. You're putting out content, maybe running ads, maybe running workshops, webinars, putting out all of your best, all of the secret sauce, putting it all on display, but the sales are not coming in like they used to. Why? Because consumer trust is at an all-time low. In fact, according to the 2024 Edelman Trust Report, only 41% of people trust businesses online. That's a record low. And consider this, in 2023 alone, people lost over $1.9 billion, billion with a B, to online scams, at least according to the FTC online fraud report. So skepticism isn't just understandable, it's justified. And here's the kicker. Without trust, nothing else matters. Nothing at all. Almost everything you do is dependent upon trust. Nothing will work. Fancy funnels, killer offers, 10-step sales scripts, amazing setter teams, nothing will work without trust. It is the cornerstone of all of your sales, and it's the reason it's drying up for you right now. So in this video, I'm going to break down why trust is the key metric you need to focus on, how the old ways of marketing and selling are just, quite frankly, failing entirely, and what you need to do instead to actually earn the trust of your audience. Here's the thing. The online coaching and info product space is absolutely saturated. Everyone and their dog is trying to sell you something, a coaching course, a mastermind, a workshop, a webinar. Everyone is getting hammered from all directions. And after years of overpromising and under-delivering, people are burned out, they're skeptical. So when you show up and say, "Hey, I'm here to transform your life, your goals, your business, your career," they don't show up with excitement, they show up with doubt. And unfortunately, that's fair. And honestly, it's borderline offensive to assume you automatically have someone's trust just because you have a good website, or you have a good funnel, or you've got some good copy, or I don't know, you've just started coaching. Just because you've made the decision and you know you're trustworthy doesn't mean everyone else does. And here's why it matters so much. A recent Harvard Business Review recently reported that companies that prioritize trust over any other metric outperform their peers by 3 times the revenue growth. That means trust isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely critical for your business's bottom dollar. Now, trust isn't given, it's earned. And in today's market, earning trust is about hard work, consistency, and a willingness to show people what you can do rather than just tell them or shout it from the rooftops like the previous guru models that were so popular. So let's talk about how we got here. Let's talk about why the old ways of selling and marketing don't work anymore, and what you can actually do to build trust and start selling again. Now, let's start with the problem. Why is trust so low, and why does it matter so much? Trust is the foundation of everything in a sale. They must trust you, they must trust the product, they must trust themselves. And if people don't trust those, they won't buy. It really is that simple. And right now, trust is at an all-time low because the market is so flooded with noise. Everyone's claiming to be an expert. Everyone's got a proven system, myself included. I'm not any different to you. And everyone's been burnt by bad experiences. Almost everyone I have ever worked with and delivered real results with has come to me with a bug on their shoulder or a chip on their shoulder because they've been burnt by a coach. I hate to say it, but it happens all the time. You need to embrace the fact that this is a factor. You need to know and own that there is a negative stigma in the market around it. Work around it, work with it, it's empowering. They've bought courses that didn't deliver, they've worked with programs that felt like cash grabs, or what I call haunted houses. You know what they are, the giant communities where there's absolutely no one in them and everyone's just like, "Hey, anything being shared for free today?" And they've even worked with a lot of coaches who have overpromised and underdelivered, and that sucks. It really, really hurts me to hear that, which is why I work with coaches now to try and change that shit. Anyway, I digress. When you show up in their feed or inbox, you're not just starting from neutral, you're starting from negative. You're starting from like -20. We all assume we're starting from +5, but they're not just skeptical of you, they're skeptical of the product, the concept, the idea, the whole industry. And here's the kicker. Most coaches and course creators are marketing as though it's 2015. They assume that if they're shouting loud enough from the rooftops about their expertise and how good they are at everything, that people will just automatically trust them. I'm sorry, but that's just not how it works anymore. So, if the old ways don't work anymore, what does? Let's talk about the shift that you need to make. Here is the new way that I've found that works and that I work with my clients on. The old way versus the new way. The old way of selling was about talking at people, positioning yourself as the guru come down from the mountaintops, the all-knowing expert, the wise sage. And it was all about expecting people to trust you just because you said so, which if you think about it, is kind of stupid, right? It was all about value loading, cramming as much as you possibly can, features, bonuses, extras, courses, videos, documents, frameworks, tools, everything. Squeeze it all in there. And the more you squeezed in there, the more people felt like you knew your shit. But here's the problem. People don't trust gurus anymore. In fact, today, authenticity is everything. According to a 2023 consumer report by HubSpot, 87% of consumers say that authenticity is the key metric they look for when deciding who they will and they will not trust. And DemandGen's 2023 research report states that 72% of consumers need at least 3 decent interactions with a business or an individual before they even consider buying something from them. This is further supported by Google's numbers. You can look those up separately. It's all about how to content maximize. What I'm trying to say is the era of instant trust is over. People don't want to be talked at. They don't care about your 47 module course or the 500 video backlog library or the 10-step foolproof program. They care about connection. They care about an individual moving alongside them. They want to feel like you really get them, that you really get their problem, that you really understand where they're coming from at a level likely that they don't. And most importantly, they want to feel like you're in the trenches with them. You are moving alongside them. You are not up on top of the mountain saying, hey, come with me. You are in there pushing them, helping them, guiding them. You are surrounding them with peers and friends and other people that are helping them move through the exact same journey they are. Demonstrated connection and demonstrated understanding. It's about demonstration, not declaration. So what does this mean? It means you need to start looking at creating experiences. Webinars are still great sales engines. I cannot stand them. The idea of doing a 2 to 5 day webinar just to sell people sounds miserable. It's about workshops. It's about experiences. It's about one-on-one VIP time. It is about demonstrating your capability firsthand with people so that they understand what you can do for them. I like to help people build what I call a capability first flywheel or a foot in the door flywheel. We'll build a workshop or a masterclass or a VIP experience, something that demonstrates your unique capabilities. You can do this yourself as well, or if you want my help, that's fine. But the point is you must have some kind of early level client generation tool that involves demonstrating why and how you're so good at what you do and gives them a first-hand taste of it. Give a little bit away for free. This is not the prosperous coach sit on a coaching call for 3 hours and talk shit to them. This is actually fixing problems for them. Workshops are my preferred methodology, but you can use whatever works for you. And at that point, they're not just marketing tools, they become trust-building tools. They let people experience your value without ever having to commit to working with you. And in this market, that's what gets them to work with you. Counterintuitive, I know. So how do you actually implement this new way of marketing and selling? Let's break it down. But before we do, I'm going to go back inside because it's about 6 degrees out here and I'm freezing my nerves off. Okay, let's get a bit tactical, shall we? Here are the key activities that actually move the needle in building trust. 1. Capability demonstration. Host paid workshops and paid masterclasses where you let people experience your expertise firsthand. Always make these paid. Free is garbage. It's a sell. You know it's a sell. I know it's a sell. They know it's a sell. So drop the bullshit, make it paid, and you'll thank me later as your client quality improves. You'll have less people, but they'll absolutely be more invested in a journey with you. And to prove it, Eventbrite's 2023 virtual events report states that 67% of all attendees experienced significantly greater trust in the person that they were working with when they attended a live workshop or masterclass. Capability first marketing isn't just theory. It's fact. It's here, and we just need to catch up. Now, when you're running these things, you want to focus on quick, tangible wins. Don't bite off this huge module, this huge concept. A lot of people I work with when we build them workshops struggle to understand or simplify something they can deliver in this time period. Think of a small piece of engaging with you, one piece of one module of one session that you can go all in on. The higher the success rate of the people that are in that workshop, the more they will want to work with you. Simplicity is key. Please do not overcomplicate it. Again, for more information, I have a whole module on how to build a workshop. I'm sure it'll be linked up here somewhere or in the description below. Number 2, consistency. Show up regularly with high quality content that speaks to your ideal audience. And this is not just about how-tos and why you're so good at what you do and how amazing your experience and expertise is. It is about connection content. No one includes connection content. I lie. The best coaches include connection content. People must feel like they know you as a person before they'll even consider trusting you. You must show up consistently because consistency builds familiarity and familiarity builds trust. So if you can't do it for the sake of an algorithm, do it for the sake of them trusting you. They want to know that you're reliable, and the first demonstration of that is you showing up all the time, even when it's hard, when it's boring, or you don't want to do it. In fact, 2023 Sprout Social Index report states that 78% of consumers specifically trust businesses that produce consistent content that's of a high quality. So remember, it's not just frequency, it's also consistency of quality that counts when building trust. Now, please, do not just post for the sake of posting. Consistency is great, but if it's a garbage message, you'll get a garbage result. Put effort into understanding what your clients want to hear, what they want to see, what they want to know. Maybe it's behind the scenes. Maybe it's something that they've always been curious of. It doesn't always have to be about them or the product. It could be about you. But make sure the quality of content resonates with your ideal audience. Number 3, social proof. I'm going to get some shade on this one. I believe you should share testimonials. I believe you should share referrals. But I absolutely hate walls of text and testimonials and spam. This is the Brunson funnel effect. Everyone's got these 5-star reviews everywhere. I know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. Most of the time it's like a 7-day challenge and they just farm thousands of free attendees to get free reviews. It's an easy way to do it. I refuse to do it. So please, don't just slap a quote on a graphic and be done with it. And if you've been on LinkedIn any time in the last 12 years, you know what I'm talking about. Create case studies, create references, create video. Put one client, a potential client, in touch with existing clients. Do meaningful things that actually demonstrate the journey to other people. Social proof is evolving, and the need for social proof and trust is evolving, so you need to evolve to meet it. And lastly, number 4, community building. And this one's kind of a bugbear for me, but you should create social spaces where all of your clients can meet up with each other. And I know, it's terrifying. Believe me, I know. Facebook groups, Slack channels, Discord groups, WhatsApp groups. There are any number of technological tools. Don't be scared by the technology. It's actually really easy. You can Google or YouTube it, or just DM me and I'll tell you how. But you should put people in touch with their peers. They want to know that they're going on this journey with other people. I know it's scary because you don't want them cross-pollinating sometimes. Maybe you've given other stories to other ones, but create a safe space for them to connect. And the more they connect with each other, the more they will connect with you by extension. People need community, but only if it is active, you're encouraging engagement, and you put the effort into fostering culture. There are so many of these haunted houses floating around now where it's just giant communities of silence. If you're not going to put the effort in, please don't do this step. This will become part of your role. You will have to build that culture, but it will pay off insanely well if you do. I was going to say trust me, but don't trust me. Do the research yourself. But if you need help, Meta's 23 and 24 report on community engagement building cited that people with active, engaged, and growing communities had up to 45% more customer retention than any other group. That alone is enough to justify the effort. Now, let's talk about the core mindset shift that you need to make. I had to make it, now you need to make it to fully embrace this new way of building trust. Here is the hard truth. Trust isn't given, it's earned, and it's earned through hard work. Consider this. LinkedIn's 2024 Thought Leadership Report stated that 82% of all decision makers found that consistently producing thought leadership content significantly boosted trust and willingness to purchase from those organizations. Real trust isn't demanded, it's demonstrated. It's disingenuous and borderline offensive to assume that trust is yours as a right just because you're a coach or an expert. Trust is a privilege. You need to respect it as such. To earn it, you need to show up consistently with quality and demonstrate your capability where and however possible. You need to be willing to meet people where they are, build significant relationships, and guide them with empathy and integrity. Now, it isn't about being perfect or having all the answers. Those days are gone. No one cares if you don't know something. It's about being real, reliable, and truly being someone that people can count on. When that really lands, everything changes. You stop trying to convince people that they need to get your product, and you instead start inviting them on the journey along with you. Build alongside them. Demonstrate some vulnerability. Demonstrate some connection. Demonstrate some capability. All right, let's bring it home. We're in a trust recession, and if you want to grow sales this year or next year or any time moving forwards, you need to make trust building your number one priority. Don't chase sales, chase trust and relationships. Shift from the old way of talking at people into the new way of demonstrating and moving along the journey with them, and then supporting them via a community experience. So here's your action step this week. Look at every piece of your marketing, every piece of your content, and every step of your sales funnel, and ask yourself a simple question. Am I earning trust with this, or am I assuming it? If it's the latter, what's one thing you can do this week that will start building that trust with your audience? Now, once you have that trust, you're going to want to keep those clients around for years. So jump over this next video where I help you walk through my system for keeping clients engaged and loving the experience of working with you for years on end. Just over here. I'll see you over there.